Oh,
That's horrible.
It was so bad.
Dude, I just saw his back. I just saw his back go straight up.
I was on still.
Joey told us he had a great intro for this video, and that was his great introduction.
Oh, we're rolling with this. All right.
Oh no, yeah, this is we're live now, Joe.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome.
All right, anyone got any college football news from last week? Oh, first off, before we get into it, we got to talk about college football rankings. They were horrible. I think my big complaint is obviously Ohio State. Jake, what's your initial thoughts? I mean, just pull up the rankings so we can just.
I definitely think Ohio State should be ahead of them, but I can see why they did it.
Ohio State's got the higher strength of record, strength of schedule. It just doesn't make much sense. So
Ohio State has that. When Clemson has the win against Miami, then they lost in overtime against Notre Dame without the
Yeah,
field.
I don't know about strength of schedule right there.
We're 29th. They're 64th.
Okay, time out. I was been waiting for someone to say the Miami thing because we can say the same thing about Indiana right now.
What?
I say they're equal wins.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Miami. That's why
Miami's in my top 10.
Considering
Here we go.
All right, let's go break down.
They're good, but that's still they're in the top 10.
Tulsa's at number 25 right now. That's fine. Iowa 24. That seems ridiculous. They're bad. Has anyone seen Iowa this year? They're one of the worst teams.
I think I watched a drive.
Wait, wasn't that the one that they got fucked last week on the PI?
Stanley's their quarterback still.
What's their record?
They're 3-2. They got crushed by didn't they lose by 50 to someone this year or something?
I don't know.
Yeah, never mind. They beat someone by 50. I'm just gonna move on. Oklahoma State 23. They lost. Auburn 22. Marshall 21. And then the big one for Jake, Coastal 20. A little too low for you?
Move them up.
All right. UNC 19. I think that's too high. I mean,
yeah.
They've done nothing this year. USC 18. I think that's about right. Texas 17. It's all right. Wisconsin 16. I think that's too high. I mean, they got exposed to Northwestern.
I said it.
I was wrong. They looked really good. They looked really good against the two terrible Big Ten teams they played. Oregon 15 feels a little low. They haven't been that good though. They haven't been very good.
They haven't beat anybody and they suck. Fuck them.
The probably the most controversial one from everything was BYU 14. That is so low.
I think they only did that because they declined Washington.
Hey, they decided, if you're gonna just be fake, just keep them at 14.
Yeah.
Iowa State 13. I think that's about right with them. I love Brock Purdy. I think that's just why I have him.
He struggled.
Yeah, Indiana 12. I think that's right. They kind of proved themselves a little last week. Oklahoma 11. I can't buy into them. I just can't buy into Spencer Rattler.
They have a pretty good defense, honestly. Rattler's figured it out.
Yeah.
They're gonna get up to probably 8 or 9.
Oh, I agree. They're gonna get back.
They'll crack top 10.
They're gonna get back.
They'll crack top 10.
Yeah, I just don't love it. Miami 10. I think that's deserved. They can just keep winning. So 10. This is the worst ranking. Georgia 9. They're horrible.
They saw the play with a QB. What's his name?
JT Daniels.
JT Daniels.
Yeah. They finally switched him, but they almost lost to Mississippi State, and they got crushed in their two big games. I don't like that either. What'd you say, Luke?
Did they almost lose to, you said?
Mississippi State. It was 24-24.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I remember that.
Joe, no, there's no way you knew that.
I did.
Really? I thought you just wanted to say something just because you haven't been talking much, and I just thought there was
a little bit of both.
Love the honesty.
Getting involved.
All right, number 8, Northwestern.
Athletic.
No.
They got their big win against top 10 Wisconsin, and they're 5-0.
Good.
5-0 in the Big Ten is not just a glance over thing, and their defense has been pretty darn good. Why not, Frank?
I know,
what do you
Frank
mean, though? We just got done ripping Wisconsin, saying how bad they are, and there you go. Let's just replace you with Wisconsin.
I mean, they dominated the whole game.
Yeah.
They
I don't.
beat them.
They're
though,
not a
so,
top
like,
10 team in the country. They're not a top 10 team in the country.
you can't beat a team higher than you and not like move up at all.
What
like,
were they ranked in the AP?
Like 17 or 19.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Okay, so 10 spots.
I mean, they just jumped a bunch of teams that had losses, though. That's the thing. So you're 5-0
I don't know.
sitting
We'll
top
see.
10
They'll lose. They'll lose.
to Ohio State.
They'll lose to somebody else too.
They have a pretty easy
Yeah,
schedule left.
I think they like.
I'm telling
very
you,
winnable
they'll
games.
lose to somebody else. They
I
will
can
They have
see
like
lose
it.
to
Michigan
somebody else.
State, and who else do they have? We've got Michigan State. There's no way they lose to Michigan State. They're awful. Minnesota is also awful. That game might not even happen. And then they have Illinois, who's actually maybe they're turning around a little. So that's the one
They
that
are gonna lose. I'm telling you, they'll lose to somebody else.
Illinois is the one they could lose.
Well, you never know.
My disrespected pick is Cincy at 7. I mean, come on, man.
Yes.
They eliminated them from the playoffs right there.
Good.
No.
You think they can get back in, Jake?
Yeah.
They don't have any like tough games left other than the conference championship really now.
Toss it twice.
Tulsa
Back
twice.
to back. It's gonna happen.
But winning back to back against a team, I think that's not good for you either because you're like, all right, you just beat them again then.
Mm.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, now 6. This 5 and 6 is I'm so glad they did it like this. Florida 6, A&M 5. Because if you put Florida ahead of A&M, why are you even playing the games then? You know what I mean?
I mean, and another reason they could do that is because Florida's going to make the SEC championship,
Mm-hmm.
so that'll decide how it's going to go either way.
Yeah,
And if
because
they win, then they're going to be in the playoffs.
definitely. But again, another controversial one: Ohio State 4, Clemson 3. I mean,
Who said that was controversial?
Everybody.
everyone. Me, my biased everything. I hate it.
I think you put Ohio State at 3. So
Who?
Frank,
Oh yeah, on paper, Frank.
Yeah, come on,
it's on
Frank.
paper, man.
Week after week, you got 3.
I was joking. Relax, for
Mhm.
God's sake.
Okay.
And then Notre Dame,
Go with your
Bama.
almonds.
Slander Ohio State. So
All right. Well, that's our just reacting to the first college football rankings. Frank, all right. let's just get into it.
for a break.
We got some picks. Number 15, Iowa State going down to Texas. Number 20. Texas is a 1.5 point favorites over under 57. Jake, who you liking this one?
I usually do like watching Texas, but they just have not been that great this year. They can score, but that's it. Iowa State's a good all-around team. I'll take them plus 1.5. I think it's easy.
All right. Joey.
Yeah, I also agree with that. I liked Iowa State all year. I think they're solid. I think they come in and take care of business, especially they get a 1.5, right? Yeah, so I like Iowa State in this one.
Luke, who you got?
Yeah. I took Texas. Is this game at Texas?
Yes.
Think that plays a little bit of a part in it. I don't know. Always a big Sam Ellinger guy. So
We're back. I hate
yeah.
that. Oh,
I don't
As
know.
long
I
as
just like
McConaughey's
Sam
not
Ellinger.
there.
I think he's a tough quarterback. Iowa State. Did they take down Oklahoma, right? Did they beat Oklahoma earlier in the year?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
But-
the rankings that I have listed in this, they're just wrong. I did it before they released the playoff rankings, so that's why.
Either
I
way,
messed up.
I like Texas. Sam Ellinger, it's my guy. So
Frank. Welcome.
Texas.
I wore the Bevo shirt.
On mute? Has he got me?
Bevo.
No. All right. I'm going definitely horns
Go.
down. I love
Bevo
Brock
versus
Purdy.
Uga.
I love Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's awesome. So, and then I also like the over. I think Texas puts up enough points that Iowa State's gonna have to score with them to win. All right.
I like that.
Probably the Saturday game of the week. This one gonna start off with Jake. Notre Dame, number 2, 8-0, 5-point favorites over number 19 UNC, who's 6-2, total 67. Jake.
The line's just disrespectful. UNC's not anywhere near comparable to Notre Dame. I think that's an easy Notre Dame -5. They're not going to score enough to get to 67 points, too. I mean, North Carolina's defense isn't great, but I'd say UNC scores 20. And it's not like we're going to score 47.
Yeah, and like you said earlier with the rankings, UNC just hasn't done much this year. 2 losses, and they're facing this strong Notre Dame team. They're confident now with their ranking, I think, and they're feeling good. So I think they're going to take care of business, especially at -5.
Frank, what you thinking?
They're feeling good, but they're in for a battle on Saturday. I'm telling
You
you
see
that
that
right
about
now.
Boston College.
And
I
I
agree.
mean, that impressed me, but I don't know, man.
This team's a lot better than Boston College.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
UNC's
And
offense
they're
is
equal to
like
red bandana.
UNC's offense. That
Boston College was
quarterback's
a fake
nice.
trap game.
Yeah. I
You
think this
keep
is
saying
their
trap
last
games now?
true test before Clemson. Like they got to win this. But I said last week, Central Florida when they played Cincy, I said that game was going to be interesting, and it was. This is another game that's going to be interesting.
I want to talk about that game, and I have a little bit of a vendetta against Cincy from that one. That should have been a cover. I mean, he just fell down like 3 times at the 1-yard line. Like they didn't try to score, and then they tried to score. That was ridiculous. Oh, that was just a dumb game. Luke, back to you.
Yeah, I took Notre Dame -5. I like the over in this because Sam Howell, kind of a stud. I think it's going to be 2 quarterbacks that can sling it, and they're just going to be going back and forth. And like 67, dude. I mean, Notre Dame. I could see Notre Dame putting up close, not 67. I could see them putting up close to 50, and I think it's going to be. My prediction is probably going to be early. It's going to be close early on, where it's going to be maybe like at halftime, like a 28-21 Notre Dame or something. Then after that, Notre Dame will open it up after they figure it out. But
Definitely going to be a shootout.
yeah, I like that over.
You can't score on us.
You can't score on it. Yes, you can. Relax.
I
Oh, wait,
love
so-
UNC.
Wait, so Spain's an Ohio State and a Notre Dame fan.
That's
terrible.
worse than Joey.
You
Kinda
can't have
weird.
2 teams, Jake. What was
Yeah.
that?
What a hypocrite.
There's like 360 college football teams. That's way different than 32.
No, it's not. It's no different.
No. Yours is worse than Joey's, dude. Yours is way worse.
I actually
Yeah.
would 100% agree.
I
I've actually
agree.
loved both teams my whole life, not
Yeah.
just Joey. When the Browns get good,
It doesn't matter, dude. Both teams are good.
I was always a Brown
Yeah.
fan, even when they were shitty.
You said you can't even name 11 players.
I said I might be able to. I was just being truthful. I'll show you.
Mac-
Let me show you a picture.
Side note, Mac Brown
Picture.
can coach. So I mean, I
Yes.
kind of like you.
I do like Mac Brown.
That's why I love UNC in this one. They've got a
Yeah.
great coach and a great quarterback. That's
You
what
like Brian
Boston
Kelly?
College didn't have. Janovich, whatever that kid's name is from
Yeah.
Notre Dame guy.
Yeah.
UNC is going to be able to score. If they can just hang around long enough, they might be able to just pull this one off. I like UNC in this one. Take the +5 as well. And the over. I think there's going to be a lot of points in this one, and UNC can just – this is the Notre Dame loss. Notre Dame has one loss every year where you're just like, man, how'd they lose that one?
Go
That's this one.
Tar Heels, baby.
I would love – yeah, what's up, Joe?
2006, 2016. Me at a Browns game with a Browns jersey on.
Is that
Ah,
Trent
Yeah,
Richardson
Tar
jersey?
Heels.
It is a Trent Richardson jersey, absolutely.
Wait, can we blow that up, please? Can we
Who gave you that?
Can you put that on your laptop and
Hey,
screen
can
share?
we make
On my
can we
Instagram.
make that the YouTube picture? That
Yes.
the cover screen.
Just send me
They're,
that one. Just
they're-
that's
Looking a little
that's a
thick.
good one.
Is that Trent Richardson?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that was Joe Thomas.
And then there's
Thanks,
Wow.
Joe.
you're welcome.
All right, next game, we got a little action. I had to throw this one on here. Kent State's undefeated versus an undefeated Buffalo squad. Buffalo's given 7.5 over under 68. I mean, for Maction, you can't bet an under in Maction, right?
Yeah.
Like no matter what, like that's just like a sin. So I'm taking Kent. I'm rolling with my boy Justin Crum. He's gonna win the Heisman, just the Mac Heisman. Kent's pulling off the upset. This is our start to our 6-0 season. This is when the schedule gets hard. We win this one and we roll.
Yep.
I'm gonna go for the Kent boys first. Luke, what you thought? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I love Dustin Crum. It's at Buffalo. I don't care if it's at Buffalo. I think we're gonna take it to him. And like you said, you can't take the under. It's just got to be the over. And I honestly, this is gonna be like a 50-50 game. Like seriously, they're just gonna nonstop points, no defense, looking like a Big 12 game.
Jake?
In Sean Lewis, we trust.
Yes.
Easy. Kent State's covering right here. Oh,
Sure.
I think they might win by. They're going to win by 10. That fast-paced offense, they're not stopping them.
What scares me is Buffalo's running backs. They can run the ball really well, and their defense is actually like better than most MAC teams. So it's really scary. And I maybe in my brain, I'm actually thinking, Buffalo's probably a
These
better
are top
team.
two teams. These are top two teams going at it.
Yes.
By far.
And
We're gonna score.
Yeah.
All right.
I think
Jumbo?
Kent State could win straight up, but they can definitely cover that plus 7.5. So
All right, Frank.
Can't read, can't stay. Fucked it up. Can't stay.
Just
Yeah.
real well, didn't you, Mr.
Dang.
Tree?
I was gonna say
Can't read,
can't
can't
read,
speak.
can't write, can't lose. Kent State.
I mean, that would have been better. That would have actually been all right, and I wouldn't have roasted you. But
I know I messed it up though.
let's move on. The
You
Iron
come at
Bowl.
the king, you better not miss. Don't mess up that can't read, can't write.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Shout out 1803.
All right, the Iron Bowl, number 22 Auburn, 5-2 versus number 1 Bama. Bama is 24-point favorites. Spread is 62.5. I'm taking Bama and plus 24. I'm staying away from the total on that one. But I mean, you can't give 24 points in the Iron Bowl. That's just my only thought process. Auburn plays them better than any team in the country, so you gotta at least think they keep it close.
Yeah.
Jake, what you think?
I'm throwing away the pass on this one. Nobody can stop Bama's offense. They're just
That you're right. Like it's the right pick to pick Bama because they're so much better than Auburn.
yeah.
But it's just
And
it's the
I know Luke loves him, but I'm not a big fan of Bo Nix. He's
I
not
love
proving
and
me
hate him.
anything.
He hurts me one week, but then the next week I'm crawling back. I love him, but this week I love him because he's going against Bama. But
you
I
think
think this over is easy though because Bama's scoring probably like at least 45 a week.
oh yeah.
Then also I want to get my bold draft take in already. Devontae Smith is going to be one of the best wide receivers. He's going to be the best wide receiver in the draft, but one of the best wide receivers in the past like 10 years.
Jesus.
Wow.
Next
better
Larry
than
Fitzgerald.
Waddle?
I was gonna say,
Yes.
dude, and then they get Waddle coming
And
back
Jamar Chase too.
next
He's
year.
the next Larry Fitzgerald.
All right.
Big statements there.
All right, Luke, who you liking this one?
I mean, I'm still taking Bama. You can't not take Bama.
Ah,
Iron Bowl, one of the best rivalries in sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's gonna be some fireworks. And then, like I said, love Bo Nix, but Mac Jones, Najee Harris,
It's too
that's
much.
tough. That's tough to take down. So
And Devontae Smith.
roll Tide.
Joe Boo?
And Devontae
Yeah.
Smith.
I feel obviously Bama straight up, but I feel like at halftime this could actually be a close game. You're at the Iron Bowl. I think Auburn's going to come out firing because they have nothing to lose at this point. And I think plus 24.
You think Auburn comes out pissed?
They're going to be pissed. They're going to be upset. But no, seriously, I think it's a interesting line it's at, but I'd take Auburn plus 24.
All right. Frank?
we home Alabama, baby.
Well, he's got these little
You only got the over though, Frank. You taking that minus 24 too?
No, I'm staying away from that.
All right. That's fair. I just can't take the over just in case Auburn's defense does show up for a change. So
Yeah.
all right, Frank, I had to throw this on there for you. Pitt's 5-4. They're taking on number 4 Clemson in Clemson. Clemson 7-1, 25.
Wait, isn't Clemson 3?
Again, I did it before. That's
No, I
bullshit.
just-
They're not. They're
I
not
did- I
4.
said that
They're
to-
not 4. They're not 3. They're 4. That's just dumb. That's dumb.
I said that to piss you off.
Yeah, I know. You got me riled up. Clemson 25-point favorites, over under 55, and Clemson's gonna blow them out. Clemson's gonna cover by themselves, and it's not even gonna be a game. Frank, thoughts?
All right, pal. Calm down. I don't want Pitt to stir you up a little bit. If I was drunk, I'd take Pitt, but I'm not drunk, so Clemson. Yeah, there's nothing to talk about.
Especially with
Pitt looks good. Pitt's looked good the last 2 weeks, though. They haven't played anybody, but they've looked good.
is
So
Pickett back yet?
Yeah, he threw for 400 yards and 2 touchdowns, baby.
Take it.
Wait,
I
I didn't
mean-
know that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like that's
That's
what
a joke.
I'm not.
Clemson by a million.
Roasted, Frank.
Shut up, Joe. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, don't sleep on my Panthers covering, not the game covering. Don't sleep on my Panthers covering.
Luke, what you thinking?
Clemson, and I mean, for obvious reasons, Clemson. But I also think, and I'm being serious on this one, they are pissed right now. That whole Florida State debacle, they're pissed. Now Dabo's going to come out, and I guarantee you, blow these dudes out, and he'll
That was
probably
first game back.
last comment like, "Oh, this is what happens when teams actually come play us," or something like that. I seriously think they're just going to pitch the sacrificial lamb. So,
Hey, you know what happened last time we were in that stadium?
did you guys win?
Yeah, we did.
What year was that?
3 years ago, I think.
Is that the year they won it? The whole thing?
Yeah.
Clemson already has their one loss, so it's
Fine. I'll lose the Pitt if I win the national championship. So,
Joe
but
Boo.
Nathan Peterman, baby.
Yikes.
He was a dog at Pitt.
Yeah, that bit.
Yeah.
Not in Buffalo.
He's like the worst statistical quarter. Was it like how many straight picks could like Aaron Rodgers throw and still have a better QBR than? It's like 500.
No, I saw that.
Joe Boo.
Yeah, I don't have much about this game. I agree with Luke. I think they're going to come out pissed, and no joke, really. I'm serious too on that, and I think it is very bad against good teams.
I meant to say debacle, not tobacco. That was mispronunciation. Sorry, boys.
Any other year, I would fight what he just said really hard, but not this year.
Jake.
I mean, it's Trevor's first game back. Got to take Clemson minus 25.
Oh,
Over-under?
shit.
Yeah.
It's just
Over-under?
everything is against Pitt.
Over-under is a little scary, though, because I don't trust Pitt scoring a lot of points. That's the only thing that's keeping me away from that.
Yeah, I think Clemson can just go get it by himself. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to stay in because he needs those Heisman numbers, and he might throw for 6 touchdowns.
Look, I didn't know he's back. Oh, my God, we are dead.
All
There's
right.
no way in hell.
Last game of the week, number 14 or number 11, Oklahoma 6-2 versus 5-3 West Virginia. Oklahoma given 11 points, total 55. I don't like that we all picked Oklahoma minus 11. It just feels like now that it's the wrong pick. Of course, like I said, we all have Oklahoma minus 11. I'm gonna take that over as well. I'm gonna buy into Spencer Rattler for 1 week just to get me enough points. And
Yes, thank you.
Luke,
Thank you.
Luke, what you got?
Yeah, Oklahoma minus 11. I like that over. I believe in Spencer Rattler. And then West Virginia's got a pretty good running back. I think he actually he's ahead of Chuba in
Chuba sucks.
yards this year, which I mean Chuba's not like playing amazing in the Big 12 right now, but I think that West Virginia running back's kind of a stud, so I don't mind that over. I think it'll hit.
What scares me is this feels like a trap game now that we all feel so confident in Oklahoma. You're going down to Morgantown or up to Morgantown. That's where like teams go to die. That's where like dreams like end. That happens all the time where teams.
Hey, Will Greer ain't there no more, so
yeah.
Big Will Greer guy.
Jake.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Luke.
I mean,
what were you saying?
No, I actually lost my train of thought if I think of it, but
All right, Jake.
like Manius and I were talking about earlier, Rattler figured it out. He's back to the QB1 stage. And their defense, pretty good. So I'm going to take the under in this.
Under?
They're not a real Big 12 defense anymore. West Virginia's defense actually isn't horrible either.
only thing that worries me too is what did they just get ranked in that college playoff show?
11.
11. Oh, I guess it's not okay.
Yeah, I don't think they can be mad about that.
Yeah.
Is the Big 12 kind of changing? It feels like every other conference has been like super offense, but there's been a lot of teams this year in the Big 12, a lot of like 50-point totals where you're like, this team could actually like stay under that. I feel like it's a bit different this year.
Yeah, it's not as high scoring like the past. They actually have like safeties that do something.
But it also feels like the quarterback plays a lot worse.
That is fair too.
Usually there's like five good
the last like 3 years you had, or 3 or 4 years, you had Baker, you had Jalen Hurts, you had Kyler Murray,
Will Greer.
Will Greer.
better Sam Ellinger,
Yeah.
Pat Mahomes, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Mason
Frank-
Rudolph.
Oh,
Yeah. Sure.
Boomer Sooner, baby. Said it last week. Rolling with them again. They're hot. I mean, that's one of those danger. I mean, I don't think they're gonna get in, but I mean, they're dangerous right now.
Plant the flag in Morgantown, baby.
Joe Boo, last one.
Yeah, he's been flying that W around a lot.
Yeah, 7 times.
Rattlers figured
Oh,
Huge.
stay away from the over under though. 'Cause
Joe, you mind speaking up a little bit?
What'd you say?
sorry, I like Rattler. He's figured it out.
He had half his Bud Light, and he's. Whew.
Oh God.
Relax, Jimmer. But no, I'm staying away from the over under. Is what I was saying. Well, there's some discrepancy in within our own group, so I'm staying.
What?
I don't like the over under.
Oh,
Okay. All right. Top 10 time. I'm gonna go
Maybe
first.
Pissed.
I'm gonna get roasted in the top 10. I already know this.
You have Georgia in it. If you
Mine is the carbon copy of Luke's top 10.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll go first. This is my legit, completely unbiased top 10. Like, I swear, I don't think this is biased. So, Bama number 1. They've been the most dominant team all year, and if you don't have them number 1, it's wrong. Number 2 is Notre Dame. I think Ohio State's better, but Notre Dame's resume is a little better still right now. If that win over Clemson is better than anything Ohio State can get all year. Cincinnati's 4th. They've got top 25 wins. They've been dominant in most of their games. UCF, they went down there and won. It's a pretty solid win. I don't understand the disrespect of them. Clemson 5. Your 1 loss is to number 2, and you've just been year in, year out very good. Nice win over Miami as well. A&M 6, Florida 7. I think Florida's better. I've said it all year, but you can't put them above them just simply because why play the games if you have them higher? Number 8, Northwestern, Big Ten. I guess that's my one like little mildly biased thing, but they did have the win over Wisconsin, who are probably frauds now, but I thought they were good, so I'm going to consider it a good win. And their defense is legit. Also, that Peyton Ramsey, he's not that bad at quarterback. I like him a lot. Was he at Indiana before that?
Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah. Number 9, BYU. I don't understand the committee's disrespect of BYU. They put up points. Zach Wilson is one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, and he can win you games. And lastly, I'm finally putting them back in my top 10. It's Miami. Finally, they earned it. They're back in the top 10 for me.
I was ahead of that train 3 weeks ago.
I wasn't in them then. They had those NC State close games. I wasn't buying
Miami
them
the whole time.
Yeah, Luke's been the number 1 Hurricanes fan here.
Zane.
All right. Who wants to go next?
I don't know about that one.
I can go.
All right, Luke.
Frank and I both. I think Frank and I both. We've
Yeah.
harped on that. Okay. So yeah, Bama. It's got to be Bama 1. 2, Notre Dame. Impressive win over Clemson. 3, Ohio State. 4, Clemson. This is where I'll get a little tricky. I'm gonna go 5, A&M. 6, Cincy. 7, Florida. 8, Oregon.
Oh.
Number 9, Miami. And you guys are really not gonna like this one. I'm putting out Oklahoma at 10. I don't know. Like I said earlier, I just think Oklahoma's gonna get in the top 10 anyways, because I think just the way like everything's shaken out, will just somehow they always do. They always find that way to get in or be in that top 10. My reasoning for putting Texas A&M at 5 over Cincy, just SEC football. I don't know. Maybe that's bias or that's,
Why Oregon 8?
Yeah, that's a big one.
They've struggled in a couple
He likes
games.
the jerseys.
But I do love their jerseys.
Well,
I
Frank
feel
has Oregon at 9.
Pac-12's got to be represented. I feel like I've represented almost all the conferences here, so throw Oregon into the mix. I don't know.
Frank
Love
has
not hate, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Joe, what did you do to my thing? I'm gonna kill you.
What are you talking about? You have
Who is at 9? I don't even remember who I had at 9.
Oregon.
Stop.
That's what I'm trying to
I
say.
did not have Oregon at 9.
Here, I got you, Frank.
Frank, I didn't touch it.
You probably had BYU.
I don't think you touched it, actually.
I swear to God, I didn't.
Yeah, you actually didn't mess with it, bud. You had the
Oh,
Ducks at 9.
You have Oregon at 9.
I'm not even
You're talking shit on them, on me putting them at 8. Interesting.
It's not. It's 8. It's 9, not
Lower.
8.
Frank, we actually have a pretty similar last 3 spots. So.
Yeah. Since I'm talking, I'll just go. So, I had Bama, Notre Dame, OSU, and Clemson. I mean, that's pretty similar to everybody, I think. Notre Dame, just the quality win over Clemson. And then, I mean, OSU didn't really wow me this week, so I'm not going to move them up, but they're still one of the top 3 teams in the country. 5, I have Florida. Now I know this is going to be you can't do that. Texas A&M beat them, but I did it because Florida's the better team.
But they lost. They're not the better team. They played. They showed they're not the better team.
They are the better team.
But they lost. How are you the better team if you lost? So the Browns are the better
Texas
team.
A&M lost.
Texas A&M beat Florida.
But they lost.
Not to Florida. They lost to Bama.
Okay, but they still lost.
That's why they're
It's been rolling. I said we went over.
Why play the game then?
That win over Georgia. Was huge.
But you've been talking about all year how horrible Georgia is.
Yeah, but it's still a big game. It's still a big game that they won. They redeemed themselves.
Georgia's big old frauds. Big old frauds.
Who has Texas A&M played besides Bama and
Florida. They beat
besides
Florida.
Bama and Florida.
I don't know. Let me go look at that. They've had an easier schedule.
They beat Mississippi
Florida's
State.
looked better in their games.
I'm just more.
Florida is the better team.
But why are we even playing these games if it's just based off who we think's better, not who is? A&M won.
Early in the year. I said that too. It was early in the year. Teams get better. Look at Oklahoma. They're getting hot.
It just doesn't make any. I just don't see the point of
I mean, they went head to toe with each other, and
I agree. I do think Florida's probably a better team. They played.
So why wouldn't I mean?
Because they lost. That's like the Chiefs. All right, so the Steelers-Chiefs play. Steelers say they win a close one just by 3 points. Well, I think the Chiefs should move on. They're the better team.
Okay, but the Chiefs have lost, and we've argued that the Chiefs aren't the best team in the NFL. I've said the Steelers are the best team in the NFL.
Haven't played
you guys
head-to-head.
have all came at me.
They haven't played head-to-head.
You guys have all came at me for that.
It's because they haven't played head-to-head.
yeah, we're talking head to head, specific matchup.
I'm still taking Florida if they play again, and Florida's a better team. They've proved that. They have quality wins here.
Proved it. You can think it, but they haven't proved it.
They would have to beat
well,
Texas
I
A&M
put
to prove
Florida
it.
ahead.
That makes no sense. I just don't see the logic behind that. Why are we
They
playing the
beat
games
Georgia.
then?
They have good wins. They beat Georgia. They played a harder schedule, and they have good wins. They lost one game early to Texas A&M, who hasn't played anybody yet, besides Florida and Alabama. Look, I get it. They can flip-flop. Florida's going to the championship to play Bama. They're in the SEC championship. I'm sorry. They're ahead.
But besides that Georgia game, there's not much difference between A&M's schedule. Florida hasn't played anyone else better. Florida just they didn't look good this week against Vanderbilt.
Oh wait, you think they didn't look good against Vanderbilt? What happened to Texas A&M against them? 17-12.
There it is.
Okay, so they both didn't look good. So Florida, it's not like Florida's looking better.
They won by 5. It's a big difference.
Florida looked better.
Oh, but it was early in the year.
Yeah.
It was early in the year.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. And Florida lost earlier in the year.
No, I'm just using your
They're
argument right
better.
now against you. That's why I was saying
They're
that.
getting better. They're the
But
better
they
team.
lost.
Right now. They're the better team.
But you don't know. They're not the better team. They
The
lost.
committee thinks this too, because look how high ranked Georgia still
We
is.
see the
And they
committee.
beat Georgia.
I was
And
going to
they
say
beat Georgia.
the fact that they put Georgia as high as they did, and 2, what do they have Cincinnati at the committee?
7.
7.
So it's even just like saying the committee's basically like, okay, cool, you guys are undefeated, but we're still looking at teams that are playing better people. I don't know. I mean,
Who is Georgia beat?
reasoning. I don't agree with Frank's reasoning here, but I understand it. So
I'm going with the better team, who I think the better team is, and it's
But
Florida.
they're not the better team. They lost. There's no point of playing the games if you're going to choose the better team. The better team's the team who won. So, okay, who wins the Super Bowl? Who, like, when the Eagles and Patriots played the Super Bowl, who was the better team? The Patriots are probably the better team, right? But they didn't win the Super Bowl. That year, the Patriots were the better team all year long.
It was a Super Bowl.
Exactly.
The
Eagles won.
The Eagles won to get to the Super Bowl. The Florida is winning to get to the SEC championship game.
Yeah, and Texas A&M's in the same side as Bama. That's not their fault.
Well, that's too bad. Should have beat Bama, and we wouldn't even have this argument.
But they beat them head to head.
What if Florida beats
In a
Bama?
very close game. Do you guys still think Clemson's or Notre Dame's better than Clemson?
No.
You can't even argue that. They didn't have Trevor Lawrence.
Ukulele played very good too.
Yeah, no, I say-
Clemson's
but I w-
still there.
I think,
So
like,
why can't
again,
Florida still be there?
again,
That's
I think
good.
Clemson's
Very
the
good
better
points.
team than Notre Dame, but I would never rank them higher. That'd be idiotic because Notre Dame won head to head. They're the
That's
better
kinda-
team.
That's kind of where I'm at with it. It's like, yeah, I probably do think Clemson's better than Notre Dame, but at this point in time, Notre Dame beat Clemson. It's kind of just like, I don't know.
Look, I've said it all year. I said the early games teams suck, and it's better to lose early than it is late. I have Florida. I mean, you're not changing my mind on it. I have Florida over Texas A&M. Unless
think
Florida loses,
Texas
you can
A&M's
come
best
on next
win.
week. You can come on next week and bash me if
It's
Florida
win-
loses.
I think
But
it's
until they
winners-
lose, they are ahead of Texas A&M in my book.
It's okay. One thing too. Say Texas A&M does lose another game. They're not the same amount of losses. Then I would move Florida ahead of them. That's where I would draw the line. When they have the same amount of losses, and I think Texas A&M's best win is Florida. That's better than Florida's best win of Georgia. Right?
Yeah, because I mean, by that
Yeah.
logic, if you're putting Florida ahead, then you are saying
And Florida has no better wins. So
I don't know.
Texas A&M's the better team. Oh, come on.
Texas
Forgive me.
A&M is not the better
good
team.
conversation, guys. Good conversation.
That's a good point, but they're not the better team. I mean, that's a good point. I'm going to give you that. It's a good point, but I mean, I got Florida.
All
And
right.
Spain has Florida too. Like, I mean, I know it's
Wow, Spain's also a Florida fan too. So
Span,
just
you want
don't-
to talk about your top 10?
Yeah, who's your
well,
Wait,
wait,
Manny's
let's
finished?
I
finish.
wasn't
Let's
done.
finish.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
I
bad.
wasn't done.
My bad. I just got so angry at your top 10.
So 6, I have Texas A&M, below Florida. 7, I have Cincy because Cincy. 8, I have the U, baby, Miami. I mean,
Love it.
I had them at 10. They're going right back in there. Miami. 9, Oregon. I don't know why I have Oregon in there. I kind of just bought into the hype a little bit, but whatever. And 10, I have Oklahoma. Boomer Sooner. They're hot. They're going to just sneak their way all the way back up there.
Hey, I love Frank's list. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Jake.
All right, one. It's hard taking Notre Dame out of the one spot for me, but Alabama's offense they're too good.
Hard.
Yeah, what?
Notre Dame's the best team, bro. 2 will go with Notre Dame. Looking better than Ohio State this year right now. And 3, Ohio State. Then 1 that nobody else agrees with, I guess, but they're
I'm with
definitely the
you.
4th best team.
I was
Cincy.
with you.
Okay,
No.
good.
Desmond Ritter, man. It's pretty good.
Desmond Ritter's disgusting. He's responsible for 4 touchdowns in 7 straight games now. So you guys know.
Dude, I can't even. No, they're
Yeah,
not. They're not a playoff team.
Yes, they are. They
No,
one of the
they're
best
not.
teams in the country.
They don't play anybody.
I mean, they have wins over Army,
UCF.
who's a very solid team this year.
SMU,
They've been.
Memphis.
God.
Yeah,
Can
SMU,
you imagine
Memphis,
if we were
UCF.
talking like a team like a Florida or a Texas A&M? They have wins over Arm
Dude,
and stuff like that.
Army's was a top
Here's-
25 win.
Drew, if I gave you blank schedules, 2 team schedules, and I said, here's this team's resume, here's this team's resume, you're telling me you would look at Cincinnati's resume and be like, oh, I'm gonna put them
You
higher.
put the scores too, yeah.
Yes.
No, you're.
They have 3 top 25
I
wins.
mean,
If you're going
God,
no team names, 3 top 25 wins over a 1
so
top
what were
25
what
win.
were the 3 top 25 team the wins again?
Army,
Army.
SMU, and it was Memphis, so it was either
Yeah.
2 or 3.
Okay, well, here's my question to
They
you.
played Austin P. They played Austin
Here's-
P too.
Okay, that was
They
week
did.
one.
Here's my question.
And
Vanderbilt's
Pitt
probably
played
as good as Austin
and
P.
beat them by 55. They beat them worse than Cincy did. This team is not. No,
But it was
they're not
early,
playoff.
Frank. You can't
Here's my-
count
It was
those early
early.
games.
It was early. It was early.
So they're
Here's
not
my
the same.
question.
They
Here's my
don't play
question.
anybody. It doesn't matter if it's early or late for them because they don't play anybody.
The,
I have a
the
question for you
AAC is a
guys.
pretty very solid. The AAC is just as good as the Pac-12.
Probably
The
better.
what?
The Cincinnati's conference, the AAC,
Better
is
than the Pac-12.
better than the Pac-12. And they could go just as tooth and nail with any team in the Big 12. Those top of it, just as good.
They're just as good as Oklahoma.
Yes,
Yes.
better.
Oh my goodness.
I
No,
agree.
they're
would
not.
Destroy Oklahoma, I think.
I would say
No,
destroy.
they would not.
I can't. I don't.
Not
I
the
don't know,
squad.
dude.
I think-
Desmond
don't
Ritter's a
know.
better quarterback, and their defense
Clemson
is
would be favored in the
significantly
game.
better.
They struggled with UCF this week.
They don't
I
really.
wouldn't say they struggled. They won by 10.
And you guys
they
hate UCF. They struggled
muffed a
with
point
that.
Hold on,
inside
I
the
got
10.
a question. I got a question for you, Cincy guys. So when you're looking at these top 25 wins, are you basing them off of you're strictly looking at when they played them, where that team was, or where that team is now?
Both.
Because
Just
there's
kind
Army and
Yeah, you can look at both.
You got to look at when they played because the committee thought at that time they
Okay.
were a ranked team.
So then,
Yeah,
so
so
then
Penn State, you look at someone like
When you
Penn
look
State,
at-
they were like 9.
that's what I'm saying. So when you look at Ohio State's win over Penn State, are you still being like that's a really good win?
Well, my thing with like the Army, so the Army's not a ranked win
I
anymore.
don't think so.
Army's
I
They're
7 and
not.
I don't
Army.
think that-
Army just lost to Cincinnati. They've never been ranked since. They're 7-2. It's not like they're a bad team. SMU is still a good team. They're pretty close to a
Yeah, the
similar record.
reason they're not ranked is because it shows that they have no respect for that conference.
Or
I
SMU was
think that's
19,
just-
and
yeah, I think that's simply it.
SMU's another 7-2 win. So they have a bunch of 7-2 type wins, and they've looked pretty good. They're one like so. If you want to count the 35-point win against Austin P is not good enough, go ahead.
No, just because
Okay,
Pitt
I
beat
get-
them 55-0, I'm not counting that good.
I get okay here.
Cincy
Listen
would
to
beat
this
Pitt
now.
by
Listen
probably
to this
25
now.
too.
Do you think any of the top 10 teams wouldn't do the same exact thing that Cincinnati's doing to those teams?
Not like in Oklahoma, not in Miami. No.
Oh my god, dude.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, I'll
Not against-
at least entertain your thought.
Okay,
that
would Florida
Miami
and Texas
win
A&M
against
wait,
them.
hold on, Luke. Let me build off your point. Would Florida and Texas A&M destroy that schedule?
Florida would probably do something
No.
similar and give up more points. Florida's defense is
Yeah.
horrible. They have some of the
Same
worst
with
corners
A&M.
in the country, Frank.
My
Frank, they're giving up
God.
35 a night, week in and week
Okay,
out.
what about your Aggies?
Their
Aggies
defense
Aggies'
just
defense
bad.
is significantly better. Aggies would probably destroy that same schedule. That's why I have them one spot behind them.
No,
toss-up for
dude,
me.
there's
Here,
An
no
undefeated is better than one
way.
loss.
Listen,
There is
I
no.
can-
They would run through that schedule. They would
Aggies
run
are-
through that
listen.
schedule.
listen,
You
I
don't
Aggies
can,
understand how good
games close.
SMU is.
I can entertain your thoughts about if Oklahoma and Cincinnati went head to head, or if Miami and Cincinnati went head to head. That's fine. Okay, maybe Cincinnati could win, but there's no way you can tell me that if Miami or Florida or one of those teams is playing the same exact schedule as Cincinnati, they're not doing the exact same thing.
Absolutely agree.
They're dominating like Cincinnati's dominating. It sucks, but I just don't think that the AAC gets enough respect yet. And until that happens, I mean,
The AAC goes to their
Well,
bowl
you have
games
to
and
see
plays
it and
well
see if they
year in, year
deserve
out.
it was like when UCF was in it. They didn't have respect for UCF.
And then they won. They beat Auburn.
What was Auburn, like 15th?
Top 10.
Yeah, I think they were 8.
They were top 10 that year?
Yes. UCF was behind. UCF was 13, and they beat
What were
a team better than them.
They were 8. Okay. So you thought UCF should have got in that playoff?
No.
No, well, no.
UCF is so
Why
much
Let me
worse
explain.
than
Let me explain. Let me
Cincinnati.
explain. Let me explain.
Oh my goodness.
You didn't let me explain.
Let them
Go
explain.
ahead.
UCF wasn't destroying teams like Cincy was that year. And I think that's why I think there should be more playoff teams, like I've always said.
I
A team like UCF.
with that.
We can all agree on that.
Yeah, I
But-
agree
and there was
with
more-
that.
And I don't remember the top 4 teams that year. Who was there more undefeated teams, one-loss teams?
There's more of a contention. I know
I just can't. I just don't think you can't put Cincinnati in the top.
Yeah, but you also got to look at this too.
In the playoffs,
UCF
You can't put 'em
probably
in.
played a non-conference schedule too. I mean, there's no non-conference schedules anymore.
Not
They're
against good
playing
teams
just
that year.
conference games, and they're like, I mean, it's pointless.
Well, UCF had a horrible non-conference schedule too that year.
Yeah, they probably did.
I mean, so Cincinnati technically they have one game, but
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you that Cincinnati's not a good team. It's just
yeah, it's not that they're not good. It's just they shouldn't be in the playoffs.
I just can't.
Put him
Yeah,
in, let him prove it.
Or why? So they
If
can get
Clemson
murdered
loses-
on national
If
television?
Clemson loses and Florida
can't-
loses, why not put him in?
you can't.
Who's
Okay,
going
so
above
put
him?
Cincinnati
Okay,
at
yeah.
4.
If that happens, I
Put
can
them at
at least
4.
agree with you.
Put them at 4, and they're playing Alabama.
Scary.
I mean, I'm sorry. It's just until it gets extended to more teams, I just can't.
They won't
Can't-
get respect until it gets extended.
Yeah, I mean that's just.
Or until they get in this year and
sucks, but
compete.
They're not getting in unless something
They are.
like that, what you just said
They
happens.
get in.
My
and they
thing
beat
is-
Alabama, Spain.
I'd
The
rather see
committee
Cincinnati
proved
in.
that.
I'd rather see Cincinnati in than a rematch of a game we've already seen.
I would.
Give them a shot. Do we want to see Alabama just murder A&M again?
So you can see. So you can tune in
Do you
New
want to
Year's
see
to
Alabama
see a
murder
plus 30 or
Cincinnati?
Alabama minus 35.5 against Cincy.
Alabama already beat A&M by 24.
28, I think.
Whatever it was. It was a
No,
million
dude,
points.
52-24.
Yeah, it was
No
52 to
way.
24. So wait,
Okay,
would
so
you,
you're saying you're saying how Texas A&M is this really good team. Alabama shit on them, but then you're gonna be like, oh, Cincinnati is gonna compete with Alabama.
give them a shot. We don't know.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
didn't-
think.
you
I
said
think
you'd
Alabama
rather-
does run them.
You rather see
There's
some-
more to giving them a shot than just like giving them
They've
a
earned
shot.
it.
Okay, schedule someone. You don't get a shot in the
They
playoffs.
couldn't
Like,
schedule
give
They
me
had
a
their
shot.
choice this year.
This is a bad year too. I'll admit that because if they could have, yeah, if there's like any way they could play like a Pac-12 or like Mountain West team or maybe like one of the shittier SEC teams.
They played Ohio State last year, didn't they? Or 2 years ago?
Yeah, last
They
year.
always play one good
Run.
game out of the conference.
And they
Did
probably
not get
always
their shit
lose.
Run?
Would you say, Luke?
Did they not get their shit run?
They did, and this is
Oh,
a
that was
different
completely
Cincinnati
different
team.
team.
My thing is, we already saw Texas A&M
What
get
was their
destroyed by
record?
Bama.
What was their record that
They
year?
were 11-1 last year, right?
Yeah.
Two
Or
losses,
2.
maybe?
Yeah, I think they went
Or
2.
two.
Who'd they lose
Yeah.
to? Who'd they lose to?
Like a Memphis.
Memphis and Ohio State.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
wow.
their defense wasn't as good last year.
It
Their
was
offense wasn't as
Ohio
good either.
State.
So no, my thing is, we already saw A&M lose by 28 to Bama. So they're probably going to lose by 28 again. I don't see why it would change this time.
Probably more.
Yeah, maybe even more. Alabama's offense is better than it was then at that point of the year. Why not give them Cincy a chance? Who cares? They go get blown out. Basically, any team in the country you put against Bama is going to get ran off the field.
I get that, but it's still in a way disrespectful to A&M, who's like, okay, we played all these, we did our job in the SEC and we lost Alabama. So then
But
we
you've
just
been
get
saying
locked out of the
all
playoffs.
episode how A&M hasn't played anyone.
I didn't say that. I
Frank
never
was.
said that.
You were saying their schedule.
Yeah, they haven't played anybody, but the nobodies they played are still better than the team since he's played.
But I mean, not really. They beat teams like South Carolina.
Hey.
South Carolina.
Right.
South Carolina.
So what is Cincinnati's record if they play the SEC schedule?
If they play A&M schedule, at worst 2 losses right now. At worst 2 losses.
So they have. Oh my
That's
God, they have
at the
2
worst. At
losses?
the best, they're 1 loss.
Worse.
No.
At their best, it's 1
Yes.
loss. At their worst, it's 2.
Who are they losing to? Maybe Florida. That's actually going to be a good game. Then they're going to lose
They're
probably
losing
Alabama.
to Florida. They're losing to Bama. They're losing to Texas A&M. That's 3
We put them in
losses.
place of Texas A&M, I thought.
Yeah.
What?
You said to put them in place of Texas A&M.
Yeah. A&M.
All right, let me
Let's
look
go
at
through
Tex-
A&M
I gotta
schedule.
look, let me look at Texas A&M.
So
schedule.
I got to pull it up right now. So they faced Vanderbilt week 1. Can we all agree they beat Vanderbilt?
Yeah, probably.
They lose to Bama. We all agree there.
Yeah.
Florida, we're split. Jake and I say they can
No,
beat
they
them.
lost.
You guys
They
say they
lose.
lose.
I think they
They
could
lose.
win. I'll change that split.
They lose.
Next up,
I think it'll be
Mississippi
a good
State.
game.
Mississippi State's throwing like 6 picks a game. Cincinnati's destroying that.
Okay.
Okay.
Arkansas. Felipe Franks. We really taking Felipe Franks to go pull off a win? No. And then South Carolina. So this is not some crazy
They
schedule.
could lose that one.
South Carolina's the worst team in the SEC, other than maybe Vanderbilt.
That's
South
still
Carolina-
2 losses right there. I mean, that's still
All right,
2
but here's
losses.
the thing.
Maybe
Here's
2
the
losses.
thing. So you wouldn't put that Texas A&M team in that top 4 spot, would you?
Nope.
They're not.
That
They're
schedule-
number 6 for me. or number
Right,
5
that's
or
schedule you
6.
just named.
I said A&M is number 6 right now.
So then if Cincinnati played that same schedule and did the same thing, why should they be 4?
Because we don't know that. We've seen Cincinnati win
Cincinnati's
every game
undefeated. That's why they're 4.
and run through their schedule.
But they're not playing that schedule.
But they're
They're
undefeated.
still playing a good schedule.
So you think okay, I'm getting what you're saying, but then your argument should be that if Cincinnati played A&M schedule, they'd be better than A&M right now, not the same schedule. They wouldn't have the same record that
I
A&M
think they're about
has.
equal teams. I don't think they're that much different.
So then if they're equal teams and you're not going to put A&M in the top 4, then how could you put Cincinnati in the top 4?
It's because Cincinnati's undefeated.
Record.
with a different set of teams.
Okay, so
That's
who do
the
they
Big
wait,
Ten. The
who-
Big Ten.
Seriously, all right. Enough with the Texas A&M. Who do they replace? Because I want to know this. Who do
Oh,
they
sorry.
replace?
I actually have A&M at 7 behind Clemson. A&M 6 behind Clemson.
Who do they replace? If they're a playoff team, who do they kick out, Spain?
Clemson, because
right
they've
now.
already lost to Notre
So
Dame.
they
Then-
kick out Clemson.
Yes,
so when
'cause Clemson has a
Clemson
chance to
beats
prove it
Notre
when they
Dame,
make the
when
championship,
Clemson beats Notre Dame, you're putting Cincy in over Notre Dame.
No.
depending on scores.
If Clemson
If they
beats
blow them
Notre
out,
Dame
yes.
63
Why are
nothing,
we having this argument? Because that's
I told you.
the most likely scenario that'll probably happen.
Cincy and Notre Dame are going to both be in if it's within a 10-point game. If Cincy. or
Okay,
Clemson
so they're
wins
not a
the game.
playoff team then.
How do you figure?
What was
If Clemson beats Notre Dame 38-17, who's in?
Cincy.
Oh my God. No way. Even though Notre Dame beat that team.
Yes.
but now at this point we've played a second time, and now you could say Clemson's at full strength, which you'd expect. You'd say, all right, that first one was more of a fluke. It was in Notre Dame, decent sized crowd for Corona.
What did the committee just do right now though? What were the top 4?
Clemson 3, Ohio State 4. But I don't agree
They
with
love
that.
When it comes down to the committee, they've already said we think that Clemson's loss to Notre Dame doesn't even warrant them a 4 spot. We think they're a 3 spot. They put Ohio State behind them.
Which is ridiculous. I don't see the point of that.
Well,
Yeah, but they also show the
that's
one thing that
that's
Luke
who's-
and I are
that's who
arguing.
makes the decisions.
They
They
believe
show
quality
that-
losses are more important than quality wins.
And they show that strength of schedule is very important.
That's
So
not
then-
true because Ohio State's strength of schedule is technically above Clemson's.
Who? How?
then
Who have they beat?
The-
Who?
It's not. I don't agree with it. That's just what the numbers tell me.
No way.
I think it's because of Clemson's. They played more games against worse opponents. They played better teams, but they played
You
worse
said-
games against
but
worse
you said
opponents
the
too. If you know what I
committee-
mean.
The committee likes quality losses. So would a Notre Dame loss to Clemson not be a quality loss in the conference championship game?
Yeah.
This
yeah.
was-
I mean, that's definitely a quality loss.
This is Ohio State's beat reporter just put out this tweet. Ohio State Clemson resume. OSU 4-0, Clemson 7-1. Strength of schedule strength. Ohio State's is 26th. Clemson's is 64th. So we technically have the better schedule against top 30 teams. This is when it happened. I'm assuming we're 3-0. They're 1-1. Top 10. We're 1-0. They're 0-1. So on paper, yeah, we have the better schedule, a better resume. And I don't
But did you hear
necessarily
what I
agree with
said?
it, but that's what it
Did you hear
is.
what I said though?
No, sorry.
Wait, so was that
So-
before the season started?
No, strength of schedule is right now. Their strength of schedule right now.
So if we're gonna go by quality losses, you don't think that a Notre Dame loss to Clemson in the conference championship
By 21.
not like the best quality loss you can have?
I'm saying if it's 10 or less, then it's fine.
I
it's-
consider
if it's a blowout.
What?
I consider wins
That's
better than
very
losses.
important.
So if you're undefeated, you should be considered above.
Yeah,
the
but that's when
committee-
I'm like,
the
if you're
committee
undefeated
wins.
and you don't play anybody, you
But
shouldn't be in.
The
They are
difference
playing
between what we're
people.
thinking is Jake and I think the AAC is better than what you guys think the AAC is. You guys think it's
Yeah.
horrible. You think it's more of on the scale of like a MAC. We think it's just as good as some Power 5
I don't
college.
know if I really am saying that.
Yes, we are. I mean, we're not calling it. We're not calling it a MAC, but we are saying it's
Yeah,
horrible, and
that's-
I agree,
that's-
it is horrible. It gives you no right
Better than the
because you
Pac-12.
went
You know what?
undefeated in that conference to go
You know
play
what,
in a playoff game.
You should know that the MAC is off limits for making fun of. So
That's
don't
fair.
even
I
go
should have
there.
said Sun Belt. I should have made fun of the Fun Belt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seriously.
like-
No,
Anybody
but
else?
it's the Fun Belt. Can we like who else is that?
Mhm.
Mountain West. Let's make fun of Mountain West. Let's be
Yeah,
a
I don't
go-to.
think
I
anyone
mean,
cares about the Mountain.
Boise
If-
crap. No.
If Kent wins on Saturday by like 25, they might be in my top 4.
Wait, who?
I mean, might as
Who?
well since he's in there.
What'd you say?
Kent wins by 25. They're in his top 4.
Dude, I'm not even
At
kidding.
least
you.
I can't argue that one.
If Kent goes 4-0 and then 5-0, I feel like they need a top 25 spot. Just put him in at 25, please.
25. We're not asking for like number
I
1.
just want that number next to Kent State.
Haven't seen it since Dree Archer.
Yeah.
If we
Hey,
get
he sucked.
if we win a
Yeah.
conference
Oh,
championship,
he's only
we're definitely
fast.
top
That's it.
20. All right. Anyone else got anything?
Guys.
That was a lot of
Joey's
arguing.
quiet, bro.
You
Joey
got-
didn't say
I
anything.
didn't really have a strong opinion on that. It was interesting to listen to though, because
I
you
haven't
guys
even got
both had
past
very
4.
valid
I
points
think
on
that was a good little battle there.
I couldn't really figure out who to side with because both sides were like, I was like, shit. And then, I don't know.
And I want to say this. I do agree with a lot of things you said. And the SEC is obviously a million times better than the AAC. And those teams, Texas A&M, they go head-to-head with Cincy. Texas A&M or Florida, they probably do win. I'll admit it. But based on what they have, Cincinnati's undefeated. I'd rather see Cincinnati have a shot at a Bama team than 2 teams that are already going to they've already lost to Bama. That's my thought process.
If there's any year to take a shot in a conference, I think it's this year.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, I don't like disagree with especially that because just
Yeah, I don't
because
hate that.
everybody's down this year, so like might as well.
And like obviously I'm a huge Ohio State fan. I think this year's really it's Bama and everyone else.
Here's my only fear. Here's my only thing that kind of stinks with that. So yeah, we are on a pretty weird year this year. So then if we do put Cincinnati in and they lose, then next year when things are back to normal, we're just going to be like, well, we can't put Cincinnati back in because they already got blown out. So it's
Nah, they
almost
won't be
like
good next
it's
year
almost like I feel like it's kind of like you have to make your claim one year and you miss out. Then everyone's like, oh, okay, we think Cincinnati's a good team. Then the following year you do it again. Then it's like, okay, we have no choice but to not put you in. I just think the first year going undefeated like that with a new thing.
Only solution's more playoff spots.
Exactly,
It
Joe.
is. It 100% is. Yeah. But
If
like,
Cincinnati misses out and they go beat, say, a Florida in a bowl game, then you have to go say,
right. And
But
that's
what
I'm
are we
saying.
doing?
But then that makes it even better for next year where we are believing in that.
but
hype.
then say
You get what I'm
Cincinnati makes
saying?
it and they keep it close with Bama. Say they lose by 10 to Bama. That's better than anyone else this year. Then you guys say that team deserves in every year.
Unlikely, but yeah, if they do that, then they've made their claim.
But say they
Yeah,
even
but
lose
like,
by
what happens when they go
28?
lose 63-0? And we're
Right.
like, wow.
Well, then who cares? Texas A&M loses by 28. It was slightly closer for a little bit longer.
But
And we
then,
get to see
but
something
now
new.
what I'm saying is then you kind of have that sour taste in your mouth. You're like, Cincinnati. Now if they do it again next year and go undefeated, we're not going to put them back in.
That's like the Pac-12. The Pac-12, last time they were in Washington, they got thumped, and that's why I haven't been in it since.
Yeah, I mean, but like Ohio State got thumped by Clemson that year too, and then I don't know.
I mean, Big Ten hasn't won a playoff
Yes.
game since 2014.
Right.
And they probably didn't deserve to be in it
Ohio
that year.
State pretty much always finds a way to get in,
It's money.
Right.
It's all about money.
Dude, it's kind of like Oklahoma though too. Like they've made it the last like what 3,
Yeah.
and they haven't won.
No, they've never won a game, and they've
never
played
won
one
it, but
close
they
game.
always get back in.
They're
Yeah,
one.
it's like when
Baker
Baker-
Mayfield's the only reason they keep getting in is because they played
Right.
Georgia close. They should have beat Georgia,
Yeah.
but
Very
and
hungover for that
the,
game.
the Oklahoma just keeps. They crush the Big 12 every year, and then they make it in. To go get destroyed by Alabama or LSU.
Hot take. I'd like to see Oklahoma in the top 4 with a shot at Alabama.
Oh, please no.
Too early.
Over Cincy. No, I'm just kidding.
Next year.
All right. Well, anyone got anything else for the show?
I want to say that Coastal was number 9 in my top 10.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jay. Big win over App State. Oh, did we freeze? Oh,
No.
Oh.
I was gonna say we made it all this long just to freeze
Yeah.
at the end. Well, okay, guys. Thanks for watching on the Lake Sports. Check everything out. College basketball stuff might be coming soon too. New videos for that. So be on the lookout for that. Thanks for guys watching. See you next time.
Go Pitt.
I got it. Hold it. Go Bucks.
Horns